The Human Rights Commission will represent a 23-year-old man who was beaten by the SANDF officials in Sebokeng earlier this month. A video of the man's assault as he was making his way to buy some food at a nearby spaza shop went viral in social media. Now, the commission paid him and his family a visit and will now serve papers to the Defense Department. Newzroom Africa's Nqobo has the story.
The family of 23-year-old Tumelo says it wants justice. This comes after the man was on his way to buy essential foods at a nearby spaza shop when he was accosted and beaten up by SANDF officials. On Monday, the Human Rights Commission paid the family a visit where they actually went to find out what happened and offered legal representation. Joining me now is the Commission's Boang Jones. Thank you so much for your time, Boang. You've spoken to the family. What have you discovered?
Well, we firstly want to commend the family for accepting legal assistance from the South African Human Rights Commission. We are now acting in a representative capacity on behalf of the family. We are able to obtain instructions from the victim, and from the information we've been able to glean from the short interview we've held is that the physical aggression and the use of force was disproportionate, it was unwarranted. Our constitution imposes positive duties on the state to protect citizens from violence. And here we have an organ of state which has used violence in order to ensure that citizens observe the lockdown regulations, which in our view is unconstitutional, and we are going to seek justice for the family. Our instructions are that we should seek monetary compensation for the psychological and physical harm.
Boang, how significant is this case? I mean, if you are going to be representing the family, it means that as the commission, you, I would presume, be bringing a case before the Defense Ministry.
Yes, this case is unprecedented. We have not, since our establishment, taken on the Department of Defense. This will be the first time that the South African Human Rights Commission is acting in a representative capacity for a victim whose rights were allegedly violated by the members of the Defense Force. And it could be a precedent-setting case. And we hope that the Department of Defense will cooperate with us. We will be dispatching a letter of demand to the ministry as legal team. And we hope that this matter will be amicably resolved without the need for us to institute proceedings in the High Court.
Well, there you have it. That's the Human Rights Commission's Boang Jones. And just to reflect, Tumelo's, reflections on what happened on that day, on the 7th of April, really just saying that ever since that day, he lives in fear every time he sees a military vehicle or a police vehicle, reflecting on the fact that this is not how a South African should live, that when you see these officials, one should feel safe, but instead, he still remains fearful, and it brings back those bad memories of that day when all he wanted to just buy was a loaf of bread and Coke. For Newzroom Africa on Channel 405, I'm Nqobo in Sebokeng.